perform that song because it's the full.
Well, it's actually
it's full range.
It's super dramatic and it is a bit kitschy in its like style and its melody. It's like a combination of like Freddie Mercury meets Shirley Bassey in my head. But I think that lyrically, it's actually really reaching deep. I think it's about, the way I interpret it, it's a song written by Muse, Matt Bellamy from Muse, and the fact that they gave me a song is like
amazing.
It blew my mind. I love Muse. It's an incredible band. I sang a song of theirs this tour on the Idols Live tour, Starlight. I think they're incredible. They're so their own sound. And when I got that song, I was blown away. I was so honored. And I think that the lyrics to me personally are about one night stands, like drunken one night stands. I think that's what it's about, being soaked like in booze and just like searching for something to fill that void. And I'm not talking the physical void.
No.
I'm talking about that emotional, that search for something, for love, for fulfillment, for substance, and how people go into these downward spirals and these vicious cycles over and over again and just go out and they drink every night, and you see that guy every night at the bar, or that girl, or that tranny, and they're just searching, and it's always the same thing, and that's what the song says. Is that it's it's not the first time, it's not the worst crime, and your soul will be okay. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, which I think is the beauty of the song, is that it's not completely hopeless. There's something to look forward to, but you got to get out of that spiral. You got to get out of the same old. You got to search for something, wait for something with meaning. Well,
I also have to ask you about my favorite song today, because it changes on a daily basis. It does.
That's really nice to hear, because I think that's the beauty of the record.
Because it depends on your mood and where you are in your life.
I wanted to create songs for every experience.
But so today, the very sad gay boy in me is all about Broken Open.
Yeah, that's another one.
And I remember, I'm listening, I even wrote some of the lyrics down. It's like the line, I know the battles of chasing the shadows of who you want to be. It doesn't matter. Go on and shatter. I'm all you need. Broken pieces break into me so imperfectly what you should be. Lay here, it's safe here. I'll let you be broken open. Hide here, confide here, so we can be broken open. And I fell apart the first time I heard that song because I thought about being 18, not able to tell anybody, and how all you just want to be is, for my interpretation, that shattered and open and trusting, and you're just waiting for someone to allow you to be that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's
and
funny,
you wrote this song.
Yeah, I was really involved in this one. Like, this was there was a couple songs in the album that I wrote, and this one in particular, I was just really hands-on in the production, the instrumentation, the phrasing, the melody. I had to rewrite it twice. I mean, it was a real labor of love for me. It's interesting. I didn't really write it with anything about like coming out in mind. I mean, I think that's what's great about the song, is it turned out to be one of those songs that you can read into. I wrote it from some personal experiences of being with lovers that would just fall apart on me, that would just break into tears, and I'd be like, what's wrong? Or it would just be that moment of recognition where the eye contact was made, and it wasn't even always lovers. There was just people that were coming into my life in a pattern over this course of this like 6-month period, where like 3 or 4 different people came into my life that needed something from me without saying it. And I think it was just the safety. They needed safety. They needed somebody that they could just be vulnerable with. And that's what this song is written about, is that those experiences of being somebody's safety net and letting them feel comfortable enough to just kind of crack open, cry, show all their colors, show the parts of them that aren't beautiful, that aren't perfect, that aren't, ideal, and that it's okay. I'll hold the pieces together, and it's safe. You can just be that for a minute, and the solace that is that, and the liberation that is that.
Well, I was also excited to see that you worked with the girl I call my baby sister, Kira Diaguardi.
I love her.
She's one of my best friends in the world. I
love her.
And the song Strut, I'm hoping it's going to be a single at some point, because it just sounds
cool. Yeah, I think that one. I think stylistically that kind of hits the nail on the head as far as blending the glam rock with like the modern sounds. I think we really were very successful in doing that on that song.
Was there ever any point when you were assembling this record, and you have all of these massive folks who wanted to contribute to this record.
Yeah.
You have Rivers Cuomo from Weezer. You have a Pink track. You have Linda Perry, the goddess of all things pop.
She's amazing.
And they're all converging upon this record. How do you make sure that this record doesn't sound like chaos?
Well, I mean, my voice is in it. It's the same guy singing. So I kind of feel like, as long as I committed enough to the vocal, I would hope that it would have a through line. And like I've said, I kind of feel like there's so many albums where even some of my favorite albums, I really love them, but the songs kind of start sounding alike, like production wise.
You don't need to listen to the whole record after a while.
And then you're kind of like, I got enough of it. And this one, I really wanted to create. So, I mean, we're living in like the playlist age where people put together their own albums. And so I kind of wanted to approach it from that point of view where it was like, I wanted a real variety. And like we've said, something for every mood, something for every listener. And, something that eventually I'll be able to go out and perform live. And it'll be a show that will have such a journey throughout it sonically that it doesn't sound the same. It's completely eclectic. I just think that represents who I am as a person and as an artist.
Well, it just feels like it's reverent of the past, but at the same time, very clearly pointed forward.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you figure this out so young? Because you're a baby, you're not even 30 yet. That's really annoying, Adam Lambert.
I don't know.
It's really, really fucking annoying.
I don't know.
We can be real in this room.
Yeah, exactly. No, the last 10 years of my life have been nuts. I mean, I've been through it. I've been around and I've explored a lot and I've traveled and I love people and I love learning about people and learning about myself through other people. And I don't know. I just think being in Los Angeles as an entertainer and searching for things, you just kind of gain some perspective.
And so what is all of this?
And Burning Man.
You've done Burning Man?
Oh yeah, 3 years in a row.
I have a friend who does Burning Man, and she met her husband at Burning Man.
It's a pretty magical.
I'm afraid of it.
Oh, don't be.
I'm not a good camper. But you look like you're pretty high maintenance. How do you do Burning Man?
I'm really not that high maintenance, actually. No.
So the hair flattens and
I'm very comfortable like roughing it. I like glamming it up when in the appropriate time and place. When I'm being my rock star, I'm a recording artist now, so give me glitter kind of mode. But I like camping. I like roughing it. I like the low maintenance thing too. And actually, the first time I went out there, I had a big realization. The thing about Burning Man is it is a dress up party. I mean, people were in costume. People were there expressing themselves. And so I brought a whole trunk of costumes and accessories and hats and shoes and costumes because I just wanted to get stoned and drunk and just play dress up the entire time. Like, to me, that was what it was supposed to be. And I was like, it's going to be great. And I went out there and I remember at one point I was kind of faded and I was like, okay, it's cold out now. I need to put on a jacket. And I went over there and I went to go put on a costume and I was digging through this trunk and I just got so frustrated. And all of a sudden I just looked at my friend that I was camping with and I was like, why do I have all this fucking stuff? Why do I have this here? I don't need this stuff. And it taught me an important lesson that maybe I was a little too materialistic. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about an experience like Burning Man is it like kind of wakes you up to real stuff that you need to kind of learn to grow up and to become a fully expanded person.
So that when you add this stuff on top of it, you're actually not dressing an empty hanger.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's really fun is like by the third year, you're like, okay, I'm bringing 4 outfits that are like, you plan it. I got really creative. I was like, okay, it's like a puzzle. And like, these different pieces can be worn these 4 different ways, and like with this, and this, and it's a different outfit, and this, and I got really creative with like the fashion of it. So all of a sudden, I became a designer in order to minimize the amount of crap I was lugging with me to Burning Man.
So cute. It was so cute. It's Adam Lambert with us here in the morning. All right, almost time for us to let you go, but I have to. When you take off all the drag, and
my man drag.
Your man drag.
Your man drag. I love it.
Everybody wears drag in some way, right?
That's it, honey.
So when this is all done, right, and you strip off the drag and you're by yourself in that room where you are, what do you see in the mirror?
I see, okay, I need a couple more hours of sleep. When that concealer comes off, honey, it's like,
raccoon-tastic.
Now you know what it's hot, and that's why they call it.
Yeah. I'm really, it's cool because I kind of suffer from a little bit of an like ugly duckling complex early in my 20s and definitely in my teens.
Were you ever fat?
I was.
How fat were you?
And when I was in high school, I was 250 pounds.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I love him so much more.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Go on.
And
love him so much more.
That creates